The leader of the bunch wears the headphones.
Where am I supposed to look? Right
We're
there.
agreed.
You can look at us. What up? Yeah, we're just hanging out, dude.
Look into the camera the whole time.
Just like staring.
Like it's a
forward.
hostage
You
situation.
cannot blink. If you blink one time. Also, I like how your feet don't touch the ground on the couch.
Jesus.
I can make them touch.
You can always see mine underneath the table in the camera shot. I don't know if we got it.
Does it ever make it to like the actual like screen, like your feet?
What?
Yeah, it'll be like you'll see the table and then you'll just see my toes like.
Yeah, that's because Jesse's over here got fucking elephant feet. I don't understand how that shit's even.
Speaking of feet, Quentin Tarantino was on the Joe Rogan podcast recently.
Were feet brought up once?
I'm not sure. I didn't listen to it. I don't listen to that turf.
Quentin or Joe?
Both. Jamie.
Young
He's
Jamie.
Yeah.
I listened to most of the podcast and there was no foot talk. Supposedly he has a bed shaped like a foot.
He didn't talk about that?
No.
Joe didn't ask him?
Nah, just about like the cars
Dude,
and
what
the
a
movies and stuff.
coward. Joe Rogan won't ask the tough questions.
They talked about the Bruce Lee scene. They talked about Harvey Weinstein. No feet.
You could have met Quentin Tarantino on Monday.
Almost, yeah. But butterfly effect, if he was there, maybe Tony would have reached his hand in a different way. Maybe maybe you would have got up there.
Yeah.
There's what was it? Fucking Quentin Tarantino. I think what Joe Rogan should ask Tarantino is why he feels necessary to say nigga in every one of his movies.
I
Joe Rogan
gotta
ask
listen
him
to the
that?
last hour of the podcast. Maybe like the N-word talk, foot talk, all came up. I have no idea.
Those are the questions I want to know from Quentin Tarantino. Like, Quentin, why is it because you put Samuel L. Jackson in a movie, you think you can call everybody a nigga in all your movies now? Like, when did that come about?
Samuel L. told me could, dude.
What if Sam has a pass on him at all times that he gave one to Quentin 30 years ago?
Man, I don't believe that for 1 second. I feel like Samuel L. Jackson probably was like, Quentin, if you say nigga one more time, I'll whoop your ass. And then he's like, I'll only use it for this one scene. And like every time he just puts a random black guy in all his movies so he could get away with saying it. You know, like he makes movies and he only makes his own roles so where he can say that. That's all he's always like at a guest appearance and he's like niggas and then he leaves. He's never in another scene again.
Maybe he doesn't have a hood pass, but he has creative license.
You think he creates all these universes, these interesting characters just for the sole fact that down to the thing, he's like, I want to say it. And the only way to say it is if I just put all this art and production and writing and bullshit on top
millions
of it.
Millions of dollars.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to clarify that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he writes a movie.
Yeah.
And then he just puts like an abstract character in the movie. He just sprinkles it in to where it's like, this movie's cool. You know what would make it better is if I just popped in there and said nigga a couple times.
That's what
and then he just draws a character that has like a short lifespan in the movie, makes a guest appearance, drops a couple. He just drops a couple N-bombs and he's gone.
Well, in his defense, he does a lot of period pieces. And unfortunately, if you do any period piece longer than like 13 years ago, like half the characters in the movie are going to be saying
13 years ago. We're in Texas. That's like 2 weeks ago, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Our guest today is Holly Johnston. Welcome to the podcast, Holly.
That's a
Great to be here. I'm glad.
Welcome to Austin.
Yeah, thanks. Been here, 3 weeks now? Yeah, 3 weeks.
Hell yeah. Today, when this episode comes out, your Kill Tony episode will also come out.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for that to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you exploit everybody from Kill Tony. You're like those fish at the bottom of a fish tank that eat the dirt. Tony Hinchcliffe's the beautiful
I'm a bottom
fish.
feeder, dude.
and Jesse just sticking to the side of the tank, just eating up all the algae.
I have a fish tank with just one of those in it and no other fish.
What are they called?
I think they're called sucker fish.
Oh,
that's what I call.
Yeah,
and they're actually bad for tanks because when they die, they release toxins and kill all the other fish.
All the toxins that they
consume. If I die, we're all
bullshit.
gonna die.
They're just full of bullshit.
Taking everyone down with them. Sorry.
I hope you don't die in this apartment and release all of your toxins.
Dude, I'm fucking gluten free and GMO free now. Dude. Yeah. I've been eating avocados and a banana.
I saw that. I was like, is that an avocado that I bought 3 months ago?
No. There were 2 avocados there. I ate one. There's still one sitting over there for me.
That thing's a ticking time bomb, dude.
Yeah,
that's all you're eating is just avocados and bananas?
Yeah, that's it. And whiskey.
French fries.
No.
Impossible Burgers.
I only eat French fries after midnight.
That seems a lot healthier.
Well, it's like
just wait till after midnight and then eat more junk food.
That's like the worst time to eat it. That's when your body stores all
it's
of it.
my
as
version
fat.
of intermittent fasting. It's like you can only eat French fries if midnight has just passed.
That's like the exact opposite of intermittent fasting.
It's like the worst time to eat.
Well, I'm not
foods.
intermittent fasting from all foods. I'm just intermittent fasting French fries. Making sure there's 24 hours between French fry visits.
Intermittent between what? The other times you're eating?
Yeah.
How long is this fast for?
I only eat French fries once every 24 hours now.
Just directly after midnight and
But
then go
there's
straight to
no
sleep.
portion control. So I can eat French fries for like a 3-hour span straight.
So no portion control.
Yeah, but only in that window.
How are the results on this?
Carb
diet?
loading. I got more energy. Dude,
See for yourself.
I haven't gained a pound. My body composition is changing.
Yeah, it's just gotten
I'm growing
softer.
older.
Just
dude.
losing muscle.
Yeah, dude. I have osteoporosis. I'm like an old woman.
Just losing tone and muscle definition
I'm losing bone density.
at a rapidly pace. It's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
I feel them bending every time I walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say you lost muscle mass, but I don't know how much muscle mass was originally there to begin with.
Yeah, I'm still as tough as ever, though. I'm tough as nails. So
You guys were just in the gym. How'd your gym sesh go?
It was good. I think it was pretty decent. It was
Yeah.
30 minutes of some arms and some abs.
Hell yeah,
I'm
dude.
finally glad they opened up this gym. It's about damn time.
How is the gym?
It's small. It's decent size, I guess. They have stuff in there. Like they got like free weights and like a couple machines and running stuff and Stairmasters. They have a Stairmaster just for you, Paul.
you two together look like you'd be in one of those Taibo videos. Like you look
Yeah.
perfect for the front row. They'd be like, let's get these people up front. Put the old people in the back. Let's get these two front and center.
I almost put on gym shorts, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't now.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing pants inside the crib?
I'm ready to go to the show.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's always so hot here. It's always like I'm just trying to wear anything that I just not drench myself in sweat in. Anytime I put on, it's like the most humid place I've ever been. It's more humid here than New England, right?
Yeah, no, today was really bad.
New England will have like a week or two of like pretty intense humidity, but like for the most, this place just has like a more consistent.
Because New England only has a summer for like a week or two.
Yeah. It's like 37 minutes. It's some. Why is it so rainy here? Did anyone think that it's going to be rainy in
This is
Austin?
an especially rainy season, I guess.
It's summer. I didn't know summer was the rainy season anyway.
Well, no, the spring was the rainy season, and it's still like a holdover. I was talking to my Uber driver about it.
Yeah.
Ubu Java.
That was his name.
No, this is a Vine. I'm quoting Vines now. That's where my comedy's at.
Very original.
Yeah.
Dude.
Vine's been dead for like 5 years, so you can start digging back.
Yeah,
People
it's like
will know.
nostalgic. Like, you guys have road work ahead. I sure hope it does. That was a good one.
What do you think that kid's up to now?
Probably killing it. I like selling out clubs. Probably stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Sketches.
But that's his only joke. He just does that and
Yeah.
leaves.
He has to
brings
close.
the
He has to
sign.
open and close on that. Were
It's-
you into Vine? Were you a big Viner?
I didn't have one. Well, I think I made like 2 shitty videos on it, but then I used to watch them, I guess. There was a girl from my high school that became Vine famous.
Really?
Yeah.
What was her gimmick?
She just made like hacky videos that went viral.
Oh, all right. So she was on Vine.
Yeah.
So what happened to all the Vine kids once Vine died? Like, if you were famous on Vine, what happened when Vine died?
yeah, there was the great like Viner transition over to YouTube. They all started
became
making like
influencers. They
Yeah.
now sell shampoo.
Isn't it so funny that you started out, you and your boys, making reckless videos on YouTube, and now you're just on YouTube selling fucking paint thinner and nail
It's like
polish?
the
Like,
Instagram equivalent of panhandle.
yeah. I saw an article today about nano influencers that can make like up to 10 G's a month. They have less than 10,000 followers and they're still making money somehow.
what's the difference between a regular influencer and a nano influencer?
Influencers have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. Then there's micro influencers who are like tens of thousands. And now there's nano influencers that are like 3 to 10,000.
Also,
I
there's
still don't even qualify for the
No.
smallest one.
You do not qualify for
That
the
makes
bronze
me
package.
feel,
We need to get over 1,000 and we can become nanos.
There's also nano influencers, which is for non-bread. They run non-bread pages on Instagram. That's pretty popular.
I thought you were gonna do like Nanu from Mork and Mindy.
And I was going for a bread reference. I'm doing
was
a
that
lot of
supposed to be a joke because he said nano?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
I'm a nano influencer. I just
you
have my
kidding?
old iPod
Do
in
you
every
need a
video.
notebook and a pencil to keep notes, Holly, on my comedic genius?
Are you using that one tonight? Is that how you're opening?
That's actually my closer right now.
Yo, y'all heard of nano influencers where it's like 10,000? Well, I'm a nano influencer.
Non-influencer.
Whenever people have a lot of Instagram followers, I always react when I follow them in front of me, and they like, I don't know, they don't know what to do. I'm like, ooh, wow, ooh, good job, and they just like look at me and they're like,
Who like Bianca? She has like 20,000.
oh, I'm sure she has a bunch. Bianca looks like the girl that would have bullied me in high school. She's very intimidating.
She's bullying you now. You
I
should
like
go
her.
to
She
the
sounds
party.
like the
I
dude.
like her, but she's intimidating.
Yeah.
And
She sounds
she's gonna
like the-
listen to this, and now she's gonna know that I find her intimidating.
If she listens to our podcast, God bless her.
She looks like the girl that would bully you in high school, and she sounds like the dude that would bully you in high school.
All right, now this is gonna get back to her.
Yeah,
She knows
I didn't
it.
say anything.
She can have that one.
That
All right.
was Paul, not me.
That is
Dude,
a good
she's
joke.
great.
Take it,
She
please.
sounds
She's
like the
great.
dude who bullied Juice's father.
Yeah.
Been smoking Marlboro Reds for
That
years.
apologizes to you about his son's behavior.
side
Just
about my
like, I'm
kid."
trying to get him in line. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard. I got to work double shift at the factory.
I want Hans to get more followers. He's been a regular on Kill Tony for weeks now.
I know. I saw his fall. Like, I was surprised that he doesn't have as many as I thought he would.
You react, but in the opposite way when you look at Hans. You're like, ooh. That he doesn't know what to do.
Have you ever reacted like, wow, you really suck at this game? Just
No,
look at
because I also suck at. I have like, I'm following like 9,000 people, and I have like 1,000 followers.
It's all about the ratio, baby. I just unfollowed more people from back in the day today to get my number lower and lower.
just keep unfollowing people.
Yeah.
They've only aired like 1 or 2 episodes where he's been the regular now, so it's probably more of like a build up over time.
Yeah.
To get those type of numbers.
Within a couple months, he should be.
He probably
should be
gets
doing it.
like follows every day now, like
Mhm.
randomly. So it just takes a while.
Yeah, I'm constantly refreshing to check
Yeah.
because I'm so jealous.
Just check Hans's followers.
Dylan Sullivan posted some video that I thought was funny on Instagram, and then he posted right after and said, "I've already lost 6 followers from that video."
Oh, his discreet grinder guy
Yeah,
video. That's a
yeah.
good video.
Dude, it's so funny.
Go follow Dylan Sullivan and watch that grinder guy video. We'll
Yeah.
promote
Oh, I
him.
like Dylan Sullivan.
He's hilarious.
It's good, dude. I just followed him last night. And he followed me right back at like 3 a.m.
Ooh.
Nice, dude.
I woke up in the middle of the night watching Dylan Sullivan videos, trying to get back to sleep.
Nice. And then he DM'd you right away. It was like, "What's up, player?"
He's just,
Yeah.
you up?
He's like, I'm also watching my videos right now.
I'm like, don't you have a gay boyfriend? You shouldn't be DMing me. No, I'm just doing his act. Well, I do everyone's act on this podcast. That's what we do.
Maybe you should try writing your own act.
You say gay boyfriend, isn't that kind of like just boyfriend kind of works?
That's his joke. He's like, I got a boyfriend. He's gay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just saying that. I was like, as opposed to a straight boyfriend, he's a straight boyfriend. Won't touch him, but
I have
they
2
get
straight
along great.
boyfriends.
Who are they?
Paul Cyphers and Ben Bow.
Oh, I don't know about that.
About that. So,
Have you been seeing another podcast?
no, I got a game plan actually. Now that they allow college athletes to get money,
when did they allow that?
this is just Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah, so now college athletes you're seeing them like sign all these like marketing deals with companies and like being featured on stuff.
Fuck it. They're going to be real influencers.
Yeah,
dude.
they're gonna be making bread. So
Macro influencers.
So I'm gonna get a transition and then go play college basketball for
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
And I will be killing the game.
I
dude.
can't
I
wait.
like-
I can't wait for you to get ripped up on the post by like a Brittany Griner looking girl. Like,
I go play. They
just put
bake
into a
me up.
blender, dude. They're like, "All right, we're gonna make you a big man. Just
I
put
like how
you
you
into a
say-
blender."
Get a transition as if it's like a 2-hour, like you're getting an oil change. You realize it takes like years, right?
Don't you
I
just
mean,
stand
that
on
one
one of
woman
those?
transitioned and made it to the Olympics like a couple of months later, right?
I believe you just have to identify.
Don't you just stand on one of those moving sidewalks like at the airport, and then,
Oh, you don't
and then
even
it's
have
kind of
to-
like they spray you with stuff, and you just move through.
I think it's an injection, I believe. You
Yeah.
have to get like an injection of.
It's like multiple injections.
yeah, over like 6 month period, you get pumped up with some injections.
You got to do
and then-
HRT, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the worst part would be if I did all that and then I just got worked. Like I'm just getting crossed up and like dunked on. I'm just
And
getting
every
destroyed.
dude that you talk shit to on the streets would light you up, bro.
I know,
You
Because you
all
are the biggest shit talker.
those dudes over there. I'm just losing. I am. I'm not a big shit. Okay, I shit talk sometimes, but not on the court. Only if somebody talks shit to me first. I don't shit talk on the court.
We mentioned this on the
It's
Patreon.
very sacred.
We were trying to leave a party the other night, and Ben sees a basketball in the back of someone's car, grabs it out, and just starts playing with it. And some guy's like, "Oh, you think you can hoop?" And then Ben talks shit for like 10 minutes straight.
No, I was just touching the ball, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we would scrub you. I would destroy you." And I was like, "Word? The audacity of you to think you could just." I can tell by the look on your face that you can't even play ball. That's the part about it that pissed me off. I can sense a hooper. It's like a sixth sense. I'm like some people see dead people. I see hoopers.
Yeah.
And that dude was not a hooper.
Dude, if Ben was in the movie Air Bud and he saw Air Bud dribbling the basketball, I'd be like, the audacity of this golden retriever to think he could hoop on me. And he'd be like,
The disrespect.
He'd be kicking him in the head and stuff.
I mean, I'd understand if he was a black lab, but this Labrador retriever.
Yeah.
Do you hoop, Holly? You think you give Ben the business?
I think Holly could probably beat Ben.
In basketball?
Yeah.
Fuck no. I don't remember the last time I played basketball, truthfully.
Were you an athlete
You
in
seem
high
like more
school?
of a soccer
I was a
player.
tracklete, so there's your answer.
A triathlete or
No,
a track athlete?
I was in track. No, I was in cross country, which is even
Oh.
worse. Ooh, yeah.
Cross country is the worst.
Cringe.
When I was in a high school in track, I did one cross country practice, and they wanted us to run like 4 miles to the rec center.
Yeah.
And we're just like, fuck no. We literally walked to my friend's house, and then we played video games for like an hour, and had his sister drive us to the rec center to check in.
That's an easy day.
Yeah, she parked around the
4
corner.
miles.
We just checked in, we poured some water on us. We just checked in, and then we just walked right back around, and she drove us back to the school.
Jesus
Fuck-
Christ.
Fuck cross country. Did you really like it?
All my friends were on the team, so it was like I was just hanging out with my friends. One time I got really lost in the woods, though, during a race. I was in middle school, and I think it was during a practice, but I got really lost, and like they couldn't find me for like hours. They like almost called the cops.
Did you just keep running?
I was just like in this woods. I was like covered in like thorns by the time I like came out like hours later.
Were you still running the whole time? Like, I can't stop. I got to keep up the pace. Checking your clock.
Bleeding to death.
What grade were you in?
What?
What grade were you in?
8th.
You probably look
My
like
first
nearly
season.
identical to how you do now. Just coming out of the woods.
No, when I was in 8th grade, it looked like I was in 1st grade.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
Always was less.
Yeah, it was always the nerdiest girls that did cross country. No offense.
Yeah,
it
no,
was always just
no,
a
it was,
bunch
yeah.
of nerd girls. And then some of the guys were nerdy, but I just feel like every girl on the team was just the biggest nerd in history.
No,
every
the guys
dude
are
on the
just
team-
socially awkward.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all
They're
very.
so-
It was all the bookworm girls were on the cross country team. I remember they were
That-
just doing
Is that a
homework.
dirty running sport? Because you just keep running straight or like wherever.
It doesn't take any skill. Like everybody, like the reason most people get in is because there's no cuts, so you could literally be dog shit, and they're
Yeah.
like, all right, we gotta like let
That's
her
awesome.
go. And then there's like the one mom with like the cowbell that's like ringing for like her daughter coming in like 45 minutes for like a 5K or something like that. I wasn't bad at it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Did you run like a 5K?
I was on the varsity team,
Oh,
so
the varsity team.
Ooh,
the
hell yeah.
varsity
Why didn't you say so?
cross-country team.
Queen of the nerds.
Yeah, I was the alpha of the group. I honestly wasn't.
Did the track kids bully you?
The track kids were also the same people.
Okay.
That was the spring.
Well, because I always felt like there was the cross country kids were just all like skinny, tweeshy kids that could run for like 17 hours.
That's exactly what they were.
And then like the track kids at our school were like the actual like people that were like athletic and played other sports. So they'd just be like the cool girls that were like, we run the 100-meter dash.
That's true. Yeah.
And they just like bully the cross country girls.
They're like the soccer girls.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
definitely cliques within the track
There's levels to this.
community. I was the worst at lacrosse. I did lacrosse for a year. Awful. I got treated like absolute shit. No one wanted to be my partner. I got hit in the forehead with a lacrosse ball. That hurts.
How many times did that happen?
I want to say once. I also got body checked by this huge girl.
Yo, girl sports are so intense. Like
Oh my God.
guys, like if you ever watch like professional sports, like even women's, like in guys like soccer, you just touch a guy and they go down like it's the fucking like it's like a shitty like even in guys lacrosse, like you just touch them, they like flop. But in
Yeah.
girl sports, they'll like hit each other with sticks, like body check each other.
Any
Yeah.
field hockey chick could fuck me
They
up.
pull
Oh,
each other's
God.
by the hair and stuff like that. it. Like,
You remember that girl that used to
Yeah.
pull you to the ponytail?
that's so funny.
Whatever happened to her? She's
I don't know. Softball girls are pretty fucking savage too. They'll talk so much shit to each other. I just walk by a softball game and you'll just like listen for an hour and like you just hear so many girls just be like, "Fuck you, bitch."
Dude, that's just women in general, and then they're all
That's
amped
true.
up on sports.
That's true. Dude, softball pitchers, those girls always have the exact same build like college. They're just wide hip.
Yeah.
They're really tall and they just fucking, I can spot one from a mile away. No, that's not because their size, just they have a specific type of body.
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange. Throwing a ball underhand really fast, such a weird skill to have.
I really want to start a YouTube channel where just Paul goes around and finds softball pitchers in public. We're just going
And I try to, and then
The
we do
softball
batting
psychic.
practice, and I try to hit a few off them. Dude, it's crazy. Like the form on a softball pitch where you like extend your legs and stuff like. It's really weird.
It's hard to hit a softball because it's so close and they throw it so fast.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot harder. I don't know. I feel
What's the
like,
distance difference?
Solid like 15 feet or something like that, maybe more.
might be. I don't
Yeah,
even
they're
know.
a
what
lot
the-
closer.
It's a heavy ass ball too.
Yeah,
It's bigger, but I think baseballs might be heavier or just as heavy.
Mm.
yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
just-
I hung out with all the stoner kids and the stoner girls. That was my clique.
Did you do sports?
No, I
Probably not.
skateboarded,
Yeah.
and I wasn't good at that either. I just smoked pot all day.
You ran from the police was the athletic maneuvers.
Yeah,
of
we
the
did run from the
quarter.
police a bunch of times. We would get lost in the woods, but because we were trying to find a cool place to smoke weed.
Also, I can't imagine Jesse running from anybody. In fact, I can't imagine Jesse running in general.
I think I might have a decent run. I don't know. Actually, probably not. I have like no hip flexibility whatsoever.
I just would be like, why are his feet moving like that? I just couldn't like stop looking at him. Now I feel like we should have we need to have a podcast field day.
Yeah, we'll do a park tree on, and we'll do like some like different like events.
I wonder if I could be Jesse in the rope tug. What's it
Tug
called?
of war?
Tug of war.
The rope tug.
I'm not moving you,
Yeah.
so
So I'd win for sure.
you would just have to stand
Because I'm
still.
stronger and more of an athlete.
You would
You're
just
right.
have to fall backwards.
I used to have to do that when I was in a sorority. We had this week long called Greek Week, where it was like
Greek
Olympic
Week.
Games, and
Yeah.
you had to compete with the other sororities. We were the bottom of the totem pole. I want to start off there.
Were you in the nerd sorority too?
Oh my
I
god.
never changed. I haven't made it that far.
What were your parties like? In the
Now you're
nerd
hanging out with
sorority?
cool comedy guys though.
Oh, the girls, they all just drank a ton. They were all like,
Yeah.
they just got blackout every night because
Yeah,
we
the
weren't.
nerds when they go to college, they just start getting blackout, then doing their homework afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you still get good grades after getting blackout drunk?
I got okay grades. I did average.
Yeah.
What
That's
is
good
average
for
for
if you're
nerds, like a
drunk.
3.5.
I'm not that nerdy. Am I that nerdy? Am I just gonna realize things about myself I didn't want to?
You're not nerdy now.
Podcast. Just go home and be like, aw.
Man, I'm a fucking dweeb.
You're not nerdy now. You came out of your shell. It sounds like you were. I mean, cross country is one of the nerdiest.
Yeah, you
things
just move cross country. That's pretty cool.
What?
So you just move cross country. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
you get lost in the
29
woods?
hours.
on the way here.
I almost. Stevie was really mad at my driving. Shout out to Stevie Collins.
Shout out Stevie Collins.
He literally like we were driving it. I think we were driving through Tennessee, and I was like talking, and I cannot talk and drive at the same time. So I'm just like talking about.
Do you keep the
something.
GPS voice off?
No, I keep it on.
All right, I always keep it on too.
And we were just talking about something, and like all of a sudden we were like driving like straight down the highway, and all of a sudden there was like it stopped short for like traffic.
Oh yeah.
And I came so close to rear-ending this car, like literally swerved like with like a second to spare, and I was just like. And like the whole rest of the ride we didn't talk about
Yeah.
it. And then Stevie got really drunk the first night in my apartment, and then he was just like, oh my god, I was so scared for my life. I was texting my girlfriend the whole time telling her how like awful it was. I was just like,
I couldn't imagine driving across the country with Stevie Collins. Like that's a feat within itself.
he doesn't like to stop. So like he didn't want to stop anywhere. He's like, oh, maybe we could stop and get dinner. And I was like, yeah, cool. And then we stopped at Arby's. So that was
That
his
sounds
definition.
perfect, dude.
Did you eat it in the car while driving?
Yeah, we didn't stop.
Of
We didn't like
course,
stop.
dude.
We just went in and got like fries or whatever.
That's
I
what you
lived
gotta
off
do.
of like fries, Starbursts, and like Yeah, that's pretty much it.
When we drove down here in January, we didn't stop. We would stop to like use the bathroom, get gas, and like maybe grab a couple snacks or something.
Yeah, because you just don't want to stop. Like, you're so tired of driving that the last thing you want is to delay it even more.
Paul wasn't. He was on 7 Adderall and loves driving and loves Adderall. It's just two favorite things combined.
That could kill me, I think.
That's just a bit.
I think I'd just OD.
It's not true.
Yeah, Paul would never take 7 Adderalls and make a drive across the country by himself.
I never would do that.
No, never.
Sounds like if you did do that, though, it does
Did
sound
you
like
go insane driving by yourself? I feel like I would have gone insane.
On the way here, no. We were like in a convoy, like back to back. I just put on like comedy out. I listened to like the whole first season of Def Comedy Jam.
Okay.
That was pretty sweet. Listen to music. No, we only like drove during the day too, because we got hotel rooms at night.
How many times did you stop?
When we moved here, we stopped 3 nights. But when
so you guys took a while. Then how many hours a day did you say you drove?
like 7 to 10 hours a day.
Oh, okay. We did 15.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys only stopped 2 nights.
2 15ers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Or did you only stop 1 night?
Yeah, we only stopped 1 night.
Yeah. After we came down in January, Paul and I were like, we're splitting this up, and then my roommate had a bunch of hotel points, so he just booked us like 3 nights in a row. But when we drove down together, we were just in one car, and that was like a straight like 30-hour drive. And by the time I drove, it was like the middle of the night, maybe like midnight or so, and my eyes just like started getting like super blurry. Like I might have like night blindness now or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot. I didn't realize like how intense it was gonna be. The first day it was like all exciting, and you're like, "Yeah, we're doing this," and then by the second day, you're like, "Get me out of this car now."
I thought it was awesome the whole time.
But Stevie's like so entertaining, so I picked a good person to drive that long with. Because
did he drive at all, or did you drive the whole time?
No, we switched off like every 7 or 8 hours or so, or every time we got gas, we just switched off.
That's when my like ass starts falling asleep. Like I was getting like back pain. It has never happened any other time except like the road trip down here.
I'm surprised it took that long. Like you got no junk back there, bro. I'm surprised
I have no cushion.
I'm surprised you don't sit down for like 12 minutes and you're just like, "Ow, my cheeks."
Sometimes I would just drive like this and lift my ass up off the seat.
Yeah, and you started doing that, and then you were driving terribly. And I was like, "Stop doing that."
I was driving terribly. Anytime your car would you would hit the brakes and swerve, I would get a text message to my phone.
Yeah, and then I saw you were saying I successfully was texting you and driving, which is
no,
impressive.
you were swerving around and brake checking me.
I didn't. Yeah, I was making sure you were paying attention, dude. I'm trying
Were
to.
you guys like right next to each other?
Yeah, and then we did that for like the first like few hours, and then I led the whole rest of the way.
Were you also behind?
Oh
them?
no, I was not. I went on a different route.
He went all over the fucking place.
Yeah, I drove straight from Mass to Arizona.
Oh.
So I just did that. I stopped for probably like a combined like 8 hours or so.
Yeah.
I never really, because I'll just drive until I get tired, and then I'll sleep for like 4 hours.
Sleep in the car.
Yeah, just like take a nap in the car, and then I just wake up and drive again, and I just kept doing that the whole time.
Yeah, that's not a bad play.
I mean, when I'm by myself, I don't care, because I'm like, I don't really eat either. Like, I eat like 1 meal a day, so I'm not one of those people that like needs to stop for food. Like, I don't have any like vices that I can smoke weed while I drive, so it's perfect. I even learned how to roll like joints while I drive. That was pretty impressive.
My friend rear-ended somebody rolling a blunt in his car.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah,
but I could do it, because I didn't want to stop. So that was meant a lot. But yeah, that was no more drives though. I'm done driving across the country. I've done that like 4 or 5 times.
I'm staying here the rest of my life.
I'm never leaving Tex. If we're gonna stay here, I say we all as a squad texting up. We get some cowboy boots. We get some hats. We get some belt buckles. We Texan up.
I'm thinking about going sombrero.
That's a hot Texan look.
And drug rug shawl. What do you think about
What is that thing? Poncho.
Poncho.
Yeah.
And mustache.
So you're thinking about appropriating Mexican culture and then be Mexican passing.
Thinking about taking back Spanish culture by force.
Probably a pass.
Like the Alamo?
Yeah.
Ben, you should go full Django.
Full Django?
Yeah. With like the blue and everything.
I mean, I don't remember what it looks like. I mean, I'd be down to start fucking up some white people though. Really go full Django.
How ironic would it be if Ben beat the shit out of Quentin Tarantino while dressed as Django?
Full-on
with his
kill Tony.
feet. He was kicking him too.
Yeah, with the ruffles on, like the blue
With the
velvet
spurs
suit.
on my boot. Yeah. Look at this. Come on. I want to have a talk with him about it. I just want to know. Is he like known in the hood? Like,
Are we coming back to this now?
Jesus Christ, I don't know, Brad. I'm not friends with him, dude. I think Kill Bill's a sick movie, and that's it. That's where my relationship ends
Really?
with
Kill
him.
Bill?
Holly, what's
What do
your
you mean,
what's,
really? Kill Bill? It's one of the best movies of all time.
All right, enough about Quentin Tarantino.
Kill Bill's one of the best movies of all time.
Oh my god,
It is
man.
a great
I'm not getting
movie.
into another art debate
Kill
with
Bill
you.
reminds me of a really bad Tinder date I went on in college.
Yeah?
This guy literally the whole time just talked about his Crohn's disease. I don't know why. That was like the only thing. Like
He
every
wanted you to
time
know if he pooped himself, it wasn't his fault.
I like went into his room, he had like this stack of like bottles and cans like in the corner. I was like, ugh. And then like all he talked about, I was like, so like tell me
What-
like what you're interested in.
Was
He's
the
like,
date in his room?
Yeah, the date was in his room.
Oh.
With
Holly,
nothing
did we
happened.
go on a Tinder date when you were in college? Because this sounds a lot like something I would do.
And like every conversation we had, he somehow brought it back to his Crohn's, and I was just like, dude, what else do you have besides Crohn's?
IBS is tough out
He's
here.
like, this is the best I can do.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to bid you guys adieu
Yeah.
and
What-
get to. I'm second on this show at 8, so
Good
you have half a
luck.
podcast without me.
I mean, that'll make
We're
it
just
better.
gonna talk shit.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
kidding.
I hope
Hell
you
yeah.
do.
I'd like
Because
to
I
point
will
out-
absolutely not be listening to this.
Yeah, don't
as-
listen back to
as
this
I don't
episode.
listen to any episode, as no one should, unless you're Molly Cronin. We should just make this podcast exclusively private for only Molly Cronin. 'Cause
We can
she's-
make a Molly Cronin tier on
Is
the
that the
the only
Mean
Patreon.
Girl?
listener I care about. Yeah,
You should have her on.
yeah. We need to have her on as soon as possible.
Molly Cronin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of like how we would figure it out. We'll get her on Zoom and then we'll like put her on the green screen behind
Should
us.
I mute my mic?
She'll look over us like
I'm just glad that I'm following Paul on this show. So regardless of what happens, I'm gonna have a great set. Because if Paul,
Because I'm gonna warm the crowd up really, really nice. All right, now I'm muted and you can't talk about me anymore.
unless Paul bombs, which in that case it'll be even easier.
you're
but-
following Paul, so technically you should be getting ready too. But I like your style, Ben.
Wait, are you on the show too?
Yeah, we go right after
We're all
Paul.
on the show,
We're all on the
Oh.
show.
but I'm number
Okay.
12.
I just don't panic like Paul does when it comes to not being 75 minutes early for a show. I don't
Maybe
like.
I'll go watch it.
I don't like to.
You should take it as least seriously as possible. I think that's the way to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's working so far.
So
Stop
what
talking
number
off
are you?
mic.
No, I'm talking about comedy, Paul.
So you're number 3.
Yeah, I'm number 3. I go right after Paul.
So you have to leave too then, right?
No, Paul's just being Paul. I'm gonna show. I don't like showing up to shows early. I hate sitting there waiting around just talking to comics about nonsense. I'd rather do my own thing until I just show up, go on stage.
I like to
and do
get
my
settled
thing.
in, get a lay of the land. I like hanging with comics, talking shit.
I do, but not before shows. I hate talking to comics before shows.
I'm just never on time for anything. Like even if I try to be,
I don't know. I feel like
So
when
they think you're being cool, but you're like, no,
I'm just really don't have like
my life's just in shambles.
scheduling.
Nah, do you like talking to people before you go up on stage? I feel like before I go up on stage, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to like be in my own zone and like
I
just
like talking
figure that
to
out.
comics. That's how you find out what's going on. That's how you find out like other shows and
No,
stuff.
after shows, but I say before I go up on stage.
Mm.
Like you don't have like a
Oh.
pre-stage like pre-show like
Once
routine.
the show starts, I usually like get into my notes and stuff. Like that's when I'll start looking over everything.
It also depends like when you're going up though, because
Yeah.
if you're going up like early on the show, then for me I just don't like getting other things in my head before I go up and then
Mm.
talking to comics and having to think of other stuff. I'm like, that's not where my focus needs to be if I'm
Yeah.
gonna like go up on stage.
Joey Diaz is like that too. Like he's got his notebook out. He's like, dog, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, I'm just like I don't. And then every time I show, people always want to talk to and make jokes and stuff, and I feel like it gets me out of my zone before
Yeah.
I go up. So
I mean,
like,
that's just how Paul is, though.
yeah, no, it is. That's why I'm not tripping about it.
I
I'm like,
rehearse a lot before shows. I'll just like put my phone in like a corner and just like talk into my phone and just like listen to it. And I go all out with the rehearsing.
I don't rehearse my jokes out loud.
Really?
I never really rehearse. I only rehearse my jokes on stage. Because the one thing I also is like I never want to be like robotic on stage to where I feel like I'm just like reading like just like just saying words like I'm reading like a play script, you know? So I never want to, because I used to do that like where I'd memorize everything word for word and it feels so scripted.
Do I sound robotic on stage?
I've only seen you actually perform like real legitimately like one time.
At the Vulcan last week?
Yeah, that was like the only time I've ever
Oh,
really
yeah.
seen you
How
do
was that,
comedy.
Holly? How did you feel up there?
It was really cool, but I was like so like nervous that I literally like completely left my body. Like I felt like I was floating the whole time. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't really there. And I feel like it kind of looked like that a little bit, but I was trying to be like as there as possible. Like I was trying to look at the crowd and like engage with them as much as possible, but the whole time I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm on this stage right now, and I'm like freaking out. Like my heart was beating so fast before I was about to go on stage because the guy going before me was killing, and I was just like watching that, and I was just like, here comes the Kill Tony spot. That's
I used to get nervous at that, but now I'm like, oh, that means it's a good crowd. Like, let's ride the wave.
Yeah, that means
Yeah,
they can
that's
laugh.
true.
You know, they're willing to laugh. So it's like, I just think the only thing is like you could tell you were nervous because when you finished your set, you didn't even say like thank you. You didn't even say your name. You
like,
didn't even.
got off
The audience
stage.
was literally clapping, and you're just like your next comic, and it was like word. Like it was just the. It was the very.
Holly could not wait to get the
Yeah,
fuck
it
off
was
of
like
that stage.
she's ready to get the fuck off this stage. That's
I
like
ran out of material. I was like, if I try anything else, it might not land, and then I have to end on a bomb. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
just getting the fuck out of here.
Did you get the light?
No, I was way under. I think I was. Well, I think I had 10 and I did 7, so I wasn't like way under, but I did like a little under 7. So I would have got the light like 30 seconds from when I left. So it wasn't like I did like 5.
Yeah.
One time I did the Comedy Connection in Rhode Island, and I was so nervous for it because it was my first time being back on like a real stage. It was in like, I want to say it was like March when things started opening back up, and I was supposed to do 8, and I did 4 because I hallucinated a light. So somebody like had like a camera or a phone or something, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's the light, and I literally like wrapped up my set at like 3:45 and just dipped off stage. And they're like, Holly, what are you doing? You still have way more time. I'm like, what do you mean? And they just lighted me, and they're like, the light's gonna be coming from that, and it wasn't even the same direction that the light would have been coming from. And I was
Oh,
like,
man.
I think I'm just seeing shit.
Yo, that's happened to me one time. Sometimes people fuck with that. Like when I did the comedy competition at Laugh Boston, they changed. Someone fucked up with the light, and they lit me like right when it first started. And at first, I was like, "What the fuck?" So there's lights on, and I'm like, after I did like 2 minutes and the light was on, I was like, "Are they trying to get me the fuck off the stage?"
Yeah.
So then I was like, then my time ended up being under because I was like, "All right, it can't be that soon." So I'll still do some shit, but like I cut my set way short because of that light. Some people fuck with you with the light.
Yeah.
What if you just like fucked with other comics and shit? Just turn the light on, just like give them lights and shit so they have bad sets.
I'm bad at watching the light because I'll peek at my phone and like check the time. I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to do this much time. I'm going to do like exactly that much time. So if anyone ever like needs me to stretch and doesn't give me the light, like I probably won't even notice.
Really?
Yeah.
You only do like the time that I always wait for the light because sometimes if people don't give you the light, that means they want you to go on.
Yeah, I need to get looser with like my material in my set and be able to just like throw random jokes like in and out because I always have like this like the 10-minute set that I'm gonna do.
Do you ever have like
Yeah.
have backup jokes like just in case?
I probably do, but I have such a terrible memory. It's like adrenaline would probably like push the jokes into my brain and I would be able to figure it out. But yeah, because like people have like told me stories when they first started out, the person like didn't like them for like an extra like 5 minutes or something, and they just had to like start making shit up on stage. Like I would just be like, "Hey, that's my time, guys," and just leave the stage empty.
Oh gosh, I'm always like I just look for the light because the way I see it, I'm like I'm gonna do as much time as possible. So until you give me the light, I'm just gonna keep going, and then what I try to do is like save like a joke or two that once I see the light, then I'll do this joke or two.
Yeah.
So everything before that, if I run out of material that I'm doing before that, then I'm like, let's see what we can throw in here and just like have some fun with this.
I used to run the light at the Woo Ha Ha because I'd be like, I'm working the door, like I'm doing 10 minutes on this stage. So like some nights if the show would run a little bit later, or it wouldn't start on time, and then they would light me at like 7, and I would look at my phone and be like, no, I'm doing 10 minutes of it, and just keep going.
Did anyone ever call you out?
No.
Just to get the fuck off the stage.
No, I'm like, I'm doing fucking 10 minutes, bro.
What's the worst? Like, have you ever had an experience where you were like somebody wanted you to get the fuck off the stage, like we're like lighting you and you just wouldn't get off?
Well, I bombed so hard at 3G's comedy competition.
All right, this already doesn't count.
It was round 2 though, so I got through the first one, but I was supposed to do 10 minutes, and I'm literally up there just doing my best stuff. Well, I was at so low energy though, because I listened to it back. I was like, it sounds like I'm asleep. But like I was just like doing my set, and I look into the crowd, and the judges are literally like scrolling through social media. One of them's yawning, and then I started calling them out for not liking my set. I'm just like, oh look, we got a judge here scrolling through her phone, and I just started being like an asshole.
Who are the judges? Name names.
They're literally random people in Worcester. Like I think she just went and found like random people at like gas stations or like.
Is this a Serenity
toll
Jones
booths.
joint?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Booths.
They don't even have those anymore.
Why do you still?
They're out of work toll booth owners.
Why are you still hanging out in this toll booth?
Did I pull that out? Hopefully not.
I lost my job. I just now
That's
live in
good.
this toll booth. There's just toll trolls.
Serenity would just pull homeless people up on.
Was there like an actual audience at the show?
It was like the regulars at the bars. Like this one really drunk heckler that was like wasn't even watching the show, but he'd just like yell out comments whenever he felt like he
Ooh,
should.
yeah.
I love that guy.
My
That's
favorite.
right? Need that guy at every show.
We get that at Vincent's all the time at the open mic.
Vincent's. Which one's
Oh
Vincent's?
my gosh. You would know if you went there. It has all the animals on the
There's
wall.
dead
and shit.
animals on the
I
wall.
don't think I've been there yet.
Yeah, no, you would know. It's
I think they stopped it. Jeff Landry used to run it, but then it was like the third month. It was like the second Monday of the month, but then Brian started doing Nick's every Monday, and everyone was like, "We're gonna double up," but then we would do Nick's and be like, "Yeah, I don't really want to go to Vincent's." now."
Oh, this is in Worcester.
yeah.
but they did have a mean meatball sub. Very delicious.
Oh,
sandwich.
that's right, they did.
That was the best. That was the best thing about that place was its meatball sub. The rest of the mics there were.
Couldn't tell you how my set went, but that meatball sandwich.
Yeah, like my set garbage, the audience garbage, but that meatball sandwich delicious every time. That's the only reason why I went there. I'm like, yeah, I'll get that meatball sub when I leave.
The worst is when you bomb and somebody like comes up to you and like tries to be like, oh, they were a tough crowd and you did your best. It's like, I don't need this. Like, I know I can handle the bomb. Not you telling me like giving me your pity afterthoughts isn't really doing anything for me. You're just making me feel worse because now I know I bombed.
I hate when people are like, they think it's a compliment. They're like, you were really good. I mean, everyone else sucked, but like you were the best. I'm like, those are all my friends, right? Like, I'm gonna go. I would rather talk to them, like, even though they bombed, than talk to you, like, giving me compliments right now.
I mean, I would accept it, and in my mind, I'll be like, hell yeah, I'm glad you noticed.
No, I
I'm
also
like, cool.
hate that.
I thought the same. Yeah, I thought they sucked too.
Yeah, try dating a comic and then they pin you against each other and they're like, oh, you're funnier than your boyfriend tonight. And I'm just like, well, that's going to be a fun car ride home. Thank you.
You guys did competitions together?
Oh, yeah, we both did comics.
Yeah.
And we also just both did a lot of like similar shows, similar mics. So.
Is he a Massachusetts guy?
No, he's New Hampshire comic.
Ah, okay. That's why I didn't know who this guy was.
Was there ever did it ever become contentious? Like after someone had like a good set or a bad set, did anyone be like you guys fight it out at home or something?
I mean, for most of the time, we would just kind of like not acknowledge it that much.
That
but
sounds
like,
healthy.
I don't know. In the beginning, like we didn't, and then towards the end, we started getting like super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
We were just fighting over spots and bookers. It was just like, oh, you're getting booked here. Oh, can you get me a spot? And I was like, I guess, yeah. But like, we would just fight over shit like that all the time.
People like to book couples too, or they think they have to book the couple together.
Oh yeah, and then they don't message you. They message you. They like people would message me through my boyfriend, so they would be like, "Tell you and your girlfriend to be here at this time." So then I would have to wait for him to send it. I'm like,
Yeah.
why doesn't he has my number? Why doesn't he just send it to me?
Or
Like,
put you guys in a group chat or something.
yeah, yeah.
Fucked up.
I don't know if you know John Parada, the Rhode Island comic.
I know of him. Yeah, I never met him though.
He was like he got me a lot of stuff when I first started out, and like when I first started out, me and my boyfriend were together, and he used to call us the comedy couple because it's like a thick Rhode Island accent or like
Yeah, you
Italian.
guys are the only one.
It's like the comedy couple.
Yeah,
It's
well,
great.
The other ones turned out really well as well. No, they didn't. Comedy couples, I feel like, rarely ever ends up turning out well.
We
Like,
actually talked about booking a comedy couple on this podcast as a comedy couple, so I guess we can't really talk shit.
Who is it? The people you went to the show
Jason
with?
and MK, yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I mean, I'm sure they're cool and all. It's fun while it lasts, but doesn't it end? Does it end well most of the time? I feel like I know like 2 that have ended well.
You mean they haven't ended? They're still going well.
Two
For
that
now,
ended well.
For now,
for
right?
now, Sean and Mairead.
They're about the only ones, and then there's like what's the Tom Segura and Christina P or whatever.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Natasha and Moshe.
Is that gonna work
Oh
out
yeah,
though?
yeah.
It's not gonna last.
I hope
And,
so.
I
who's
don't
the
know.
one?
I
Isn't
don't
Rich
even know
Voss and Bonnie McFarlane?
Bonnie McFarlane. Yeah, they've been together a
McFarlane.
long time.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to work if there's an established hierarchy of who's funnier and they both know it.
The woman has to be funnier every time.
What about Tom Segura and Christina P?
No,
Christina's,
it's got to be equal, you know?
I guess,
Or
but
it's got to
Christina's
like
really
take
funny.
turns, I feel
Is
like.
she funnier than Tom?
Sometimes, yeah,
Because I feel like Bonnie McFarlane's way funnier than Rich Voss. Like,
for sure.
yeah, that's not even like it's got to be. I feel like there's got to be a hierarchy that's established and both people know it.
I think she's still just coming up, and he's like on the downswing.
What an awkward, what an awkward trend.
But, like,
he already peaked.
How
Yeah.
else do you like meet people besides one, comedy, which you're always at, so you always see them, or 2, apps, which I hate apps. So like those are really the only 2 ways.
We're trying to get out in the
Here.
wild now.
Yeah, like I don't know how else you meet. Like how do you meet people? Because
Because I don't do the apps either, and
they
and,
suck. They're
and I don't-
they're awful.
You have to leave the comedy show. Like that's the first part. You have to like after the mic or the show or whatever, like go somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to associate with comics all the time because then it gets all clicky and comics get weird and like. Plus, a lot of comics are like, I mean, open micer comics in general. Like, there's once you get to like a certain level of comic, most people are cool, but some open micers are just weird. Like, I get it, that's your thing. You're awkward and quirky or whatever,
Yeah.
but keep your quirk off me, bro.
And then find things you like to do and try to meet people through that, I guess. I don't know. I've mostly met people like off of apps or like most of my life was like through like friends at like parties and stuff like that.
Yeah, setups those never work either though. I feel like when your friends like, oh, I got this person, you're gonna you're gonna love them.
No one has ever done that to me. Not
Someone
once.
did that to me, and the guy didn't bring his credit card to dinner.
Oh my god.
He was like, oh, I left it at home, so I had to pay for the whole thing. And I was like, so broke because I had an unpaid internship. And I was like, I really hope this goes through because if not, we're fucked. Like, I was not planning on paying for this meal.
Yeah.
We're washing dishes, bro. Has anyone ever had to do that? That's like wash dishes because they didn't pay for a meal. Has that ever happened? Is that just like a movie trope?
I don't think they allow you to do that because, like,
What happens if you like go ball out for some meal and you can't pay? What do they? What?
I feel like in the movies it's always at like some shitty diner or something. Maybe out here in the middle of nowhere, Texas, they'll make you do that.
like we don't give a fuck, boy. You're gonna do them goddamn dishes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, cause like what other recourse does a restaurant have? Like they can put you on a wall of shame, but like what can they
they
really
can't do anything about it. You could literally look at them in the eyes, drop 1 penny as the tip, and leave, and they can't do anything but watch you do it. They can't.
But like if you,
no
what if you didn't? What if
consequences.
you didn't pay for your meal?
Yeah, I don't know what they do about that.
Yeah, I'm like,
I feel like you gotta dine and dash. Like if you stay and say I can't pay for this, that's on you.
What
Like,
are they gonna do though?
I don't know.
I'm intrigued to find out what they would
I could
actually.
not imagine myself doing that.
Would they call the police? Would they take your picture? Like what? I wonder what their actual courses of recourse
It's
are.
like when you steal from a store, they can't do anything. My friend used to work at TJ Maxx, and people would steal all the time, and the only thing they're allowed to do is go over and say, "Are you finding everything okay today?" Just to say, like, we know you're stealing. But then they'll just look at them and say, "Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I found everything I need." Like they just look at them
I
because
got it. And nailed
At
it.
Walmart, we
I got
had
more than what I need. Yeah.
at Walmart we had asset protection, but they weren't allowed to touch you. They could just like try to stop you and try to get you to stay in the store and be like, come into our office or whatever, and then call the cops, or call the cops and have them like try to catch you like outside the door. But one time the security guy fought somebody in the parking lot because the guy like put hands on him, I think.
What did he steal?
Oh man, this guy had a whole cart full of like DVDs, electronics.
Oh, he was trying to resell them, probably.
Yeah, he was a heroin addict.
Oh.
And he was with his heroin addict girlfriend. The security guy was fighting with the dude, And they got into a scuffle, and like the security guard like ripped the guy's shirt off. Like, so the guy's like shirtless fighting this like big, huge, like 6'6" Puerto Rican dude, the security guard. And then the girlfriend pulls up in a car, gets out, and jumps on the security guy's back. And the dude was like, get his ball. So she tried to like grab his ball. So then he had to like swing her around and try to detain her. And then the dude left his girlfriend and ran into the woods and ran away.
Oh my God.
He got away. And then I've watched the whole thing from the parking lot. Well, from the garden center, like watching the parking lot. As soon as he got into the woods, it was just like a torrential downpour out of nowhere. And so they arrested his girlfriend. And then the guy got caught a week later stealing from a Walmart like a few towns over.
Oh, wow. How long did you work at Walmart for?
6 years.
Oh, that's too long.
Yeah, I have a doctorate in Walmart.
That's 5 years and 6 months too long.
My friend got caught stealing, but she was stealing like embarrassing things for like her friend's birthday. And,
Yeah.
she would steal stuff all the time, and then like the one day she got caught was when she was stealing like I think she stole like a Kids Bop CD. So she's like sitting there, and they had to like pull her aside or whatever with like management or cops. I don't know what happened. I don't think she got arrested, but she's just like they're like empty your pockets, and she just like puts a Kids Bop CD.
Oh my God.
Dang, I don't know what would be more embarrassing, like that you got caught stealing or that it was Kids Bop.
Right. Well, I had to be a witness for the security guy one time because he can't be like alone with the thief in the office. So I went in and it was like some like 13-year-old kid who was stealing a Lil Wayne CD. So he's like underage too, I don't know what he would do, like community service,
like,
maybe.
Man.
Why can't the security guard be alone with him?
Just so the kid can't like claim that the security guy like roughed him up or something.
Oh, well, isn't there cameras in there?
I think so, yeah, but I have no idea.
What are Walmart security guards doing to the people accused of stealing?
Waterboarding them?
You don't want to know.
I know how to get rid of this accusation. Unzips.
You'll do anything to get away with this.
How long were you at your last job before you moved here?
Me? 2 years.
You just got a promotion?
No, I was getting like demoted just constantly, just every day.
Until Tony, you said you got a promotion.
No, I was joking because I said I went from working for where I worked at a neurology clinic to waitressing. So I was joking. I was like, I got promoted.
I thought you were saying like I just got promoted, and then I was like, all right, fuck you, bye. I'm going to go waitress in Texas.
No, I had this coworker that just hated me so much because I would be like at mics and stuff and just like not hitting deadlines, and she was like obsessed with like having everything done on time, and she was like obsessed with her job and wanted everything to be perfect, and I did not give a shit.
Yeah.
And she would text me and be like, she'd send me emails at midnight. I was like, are you kidding me? And she was like, where is this? This was supposed to be like sent to you today. And I'm just like, literally like at a show. And I'm just like, oh no, I'll deal with that.
I'm like
tomorrow.
that at my job. My supervisor like has been at this job for like 10 years and like is so dedicated. Like his position didn't even exist when he started working there. Like he worked so hard and like got his own position made for like how hard he's working. And then I clock in and clock out exactly 8 hours, like to the minute, and fucking leave and go to like Romo room and shit.
And that's hilarious though. That I just keep thinking of you at work just getting demoted and demoted.
Yeah, so I was.
Some people working up, you're just
I was working
your way down.
Every time they tried to put me on something new, they would immediately take me off. I was working in a clinic, so I had to do like eye scans. So these old people would come in, sit in chairs. I had to take pictures of their like eyes or whatever and like do hearing tests, and I was so bad at it because it was supposed to take 15 minutes to do everything, and it would take me like literally a half an hour, and they would be like banging on the door, be like, why are you still taking the pictures? And I'm like, I don't know, they're not loading. Like I would just be like freaking out, and like
they won't fire you, they just give you less and less responsibility.
They would just like pretend that they just found an alternative position for me, but it was just right back to what I was already doing before they gave me that. Like they would be like, oh, we think you should try this other thing, and I was like, okay, and I would like show up and it's the same thing I was doing before the thing they gave me that was new, and I was like, oh, this is not different.
Sometimes you should be a comic. You can't. I know the feeling. I've never worked at a job for longer than this is the job I've had now. It's the longest I've ever had a job, and it's been like a little over 2 years. Before this, Well, I worked on ships, but that was different because you did like different contracts. But up until then, I'd never. It's like every year I'm like, all right, that's enough of this. Let's get demoted. Start sleeping at work, working my way down until they fire me.
I work really hard up front, like get to a place where they leave me alone, and then I just coast on like the bare minimum all the time.
Yeah, that's
I
what
was at Walmart 6 years. I was at the Laser Factory 7 years. So this place saw my resume and they're like, "Oh, he's like a long-term guy." And like the first like review they gave me where I wasn't doing that great, I was like, "Yeah, I'll just leave." They're like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, like if you can't give me like what I want here and it's not working out, I guess I'll just go." Like I'm a temp anyway.
I also had an incident at a COVID testing facility.
An incident?
Yeah, so I
Did you have a lab leak? Did you spread more COVID?
Are you the
no,
reason?
yeah, I'm actually sorry, everybody. It's me. I got demoted. That's why. No, so my work used to make me. So I don't work in Boston. I worked from home throughout the whole pandemic, but I would go into Framingham once a week. No one knows where that is here. It doesn't matter.
No, we have an all Massachusetts fan base.
So I would go into Framingham once a week, but I had to get COVID tested in Boston at the BU. So it just gave away where I worked. And I had to get COVID tested in Boston.
Yeah.
And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. There's like 75-minute clinics right outside my house that are like 10 minutes down the street. And I got to drive an hour into Boston for a COVID test.
Yeah.
So one time I drove into the city for the COVID test, but I didn't sign up for the appointment or whatever. And the lady's just like, you don't have an appointment with us. And I'm just like, oh no, forgot. And I was just like, oh, can I sign up like right now? And she's like, no, we're about to close. You have to come back in a half an hour. So she wanted me to stand outside for a half an hour and wait to do the same exact thing that I would have just done right then and there. I'm like, please, can you just do this now? Like, it's going to take like 10 seconds. And she was like, no. Nope, you have to come back. And I literally just lost my temper and just started punching the wall.
I couldn't imagine you flipping out.
Lost
the softest
my
punches on the
wall.
Those cross-country punches.
I think I have a pretty decent punch for being a.
Did you hurt your hands?
Being a 23-year-old white girl. Yeah, I hurt my hand pretty bad. Then I got a call from my boss the next day, and he's like the most like timid, soft-spoken guy, and he's just like, "Hi, so they reported that there was a little bit of a situation at the COVID facility yesterday."
Did you punch the wall in front of the woman?
I just like I was like walking out, and I was just like, and I almost took down a sign too. I was literally, it was like peak winter COVID, you know, and it was just like so many things were happening that was like the last straw, and I just snapped.
Hulk Hogan
I like
over
saw
here.
things went blurry. I just lost my shit. I was like. I was also with my new coworker, and I'm like, "Nice to meet you. Sorry about what just happened back there."
Oh yeah, we're gonna get along great.
This is the first time you met after working from home?
I think second time we met.
She's like, "Oh, Holly's pretty chill." You're just like,
but my COVID testing temper tantrum got everybody. We got reimbursed for the mileage. They started feeling bad for us because we had to go in. Like they're like, these people aren't doing well. We gotta comp them somehow.
Yeah, they don't want you shooting the place up.
All these got real shooting the place up vibes. It's hilarious.
Apparently, she's got a short fuse, dude.
Yeah, just on edge. Have you ever blown up like that since? Like, have you ever just punched walls at another place?
I punched my door a lot.
All right.
I'm like a 13-year-old boy that just got grounded. Like, just put
Holly's
holes
gonna
in my
get bumped
door.
4 times at the Lucky Duck and start breaking the umbrellas and shit.
I got bumped so many times at the Lucky Duck.
That's the lucky bump. That's what I call it now.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I was there, and I just kept noticing new names showing up, and I was like, oh, wait, I thought this guy was here. And he's like, yeah, but we're just going to go back around. I'm like, oh, are we? And then I just went and got a drink and missed my spot and came back and had to wait still, and it was just a mess.
I this past Wednesday, I was number 1. I was like the bump-proof spot, baby. I show up, they're like, oh, hey, this guy's gonna go first because he's gonna work in the morning. I was like, I gotta work in the morning.
This guy's gonna do a quick 35. He's got a headline tomorrow.
Yeah, I was like, he started doing crowd work. I was like, all right, this is a complete waste of fucking time. What is going on here?
That's how it goes out here. It's just bump central. Like, the Lucky Duck, I will say, is the most egregious of the bumping spots. Like, everywhere bumps.
I asked for a bump, was not happening.
No, you have to have a show or be a host of an open mic. That's how you get bumps.
Soon
Looks
come,
like
baby.
I'm starting a show.
Yeah, start a show.
I
And
would
then-
do an open mic. That sounds fun.
Or run an open mic, and then you could just get bumped. That's how you get bumped and booked out here. That's like the only people, they just book each other on
Yeah.
each other's shows.
We got booked tonight off pure talent, baby.
Or you could be a token. Hey.
Yeah.
That's probably how I got booked. But still, I'm taking it as pure talent, baby.
Yeah, you minorities out here.
Yeah.
I'm a straight white male, dude.
Yeah, you got no chance.
I don't.
You're doing a show tonight, though, right?
Yeah, off pure talent. That's what it is.
Speaking of that, it's about time for me to roll.
We're 58 and a half minutes in.
Oh, we're 58 and a half minutes in?
Yeah.
All right. I'll close this one out.
Holly, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
fun. I'm glad I got to be on.
Yeah, hanging out
As a fan of the podcast and your guest on the podcast.
Yeah, I went from fan to guest. That's how it works out here.
It is. Molly Cronin, you're next.
doing big things in Austin, you know, from guests to fans and fans to guests. We're just switching it back and forth.
Getting booked on Kill Tony first weekend.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you've already peaked, Holly. It's over now.
Oh, God. That's what someone told me. I think it was Paul. And they were just like, yeah, you're going to go through like a flat spot now that all this stuff has happened. And I was just like, don't tell me that. Like, I thought it was just going to keep going
If Paul
up.
was saying that, he's still in the flat spot. I don't know what his peak was.
Where was the peak? Yeah.
He got a girlfriend like the first week here? Is that his peak? I don't know.
Well, he definitely plateaued since. Yeah. Plateau Paul. That's what we call him out here. Plateau Paul.
Paul.
Going nowhere.
He's not plateauing. His career composition just changed.
It's my
career
friend from high school's cousin. I just realized, like, one of my good friends from high school, it's her cousin. And I, like, discovered that.
Who's
and-
that? Paul's girlfriend?
No, Paul's cousin.
Oh, Paul's cousin. Ah, that's right.
Man, New England's a small place.
It is. I'm glad we're the fuck out of it.
Yeah. We're in the wild world of Texas, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna move from New England, please be as cool as Holly.
Yes. And if you're going to do that, check out the Patreon. LonelyMans /Patreon.
Wow, look at you, Ben, promoting.
I got you,
all
bro.
about it. Patreon.com/LonelyMans.
Yeah, that's the one I meant.
All right, we out.
Peace.
Insane.